Hi everybody, welcome back for another video. I've got what's left of my morning cup of tea with me, and I have a sketchbook that I have finished. It is a U.S. Art Supply mixed media journal. It's 60 sheets, meaning 60 pieces of paper. Like this is one, this is two. I on most things only used one side because I used alcohol markers or some sort of ink that bled through it. It's not the best paper. It's 98 pound or 160 GSM. Previously I had used these, the Arteza ones. I had these sent to me and I have used them all. And this paper is much better. It's 110 pound, 180 GSM. This is wonderful. Like, yes, alcohol markers will bleed through it, but it's a thicker paper. It has a little bit of texture. It takes watercolor better. When COVID first started, I was looking for these, but these have been out of stock for a long time. I have a couple in the larger size, like the 9x12, but I like this size of a book. It feels less intimidating, if you know what I mean. And this was one thing that Amazon said was like a good replacement for it. The only thing that is a replacement for it is the size and the binding. The paper inside is nowhere near as good. And so I've got one more, and I'm probably going to do a lot of pencil and alcohol marker in it because I don't have to worry about the paper because I know it's going to bleed, and I'm just going to do with it what I want. Watercolor in here is horrible. Gouache in here is horrible. You'll see when we go through here just exactly what we have. Here's a fun little flip through my art journal. The wordy one will be here on Patreon, and there'll be one with just some nondescript music on YouTube, so you get a little bit more of a better view here. So this was the first thing I did in the notebook. I was following an old Mindy Lacefield tutorial on Patreon, and I decided to put some of her washi tape down as well. She always draws little girls, and I thought, why don't I draw a boy? Because, you know, she always draws little girls. I'm gonna draw a boy. So I drew me laying in the grass. And then I'd gotten some of her new washi tape, and so I put that down on the back of it. And then she had another tutorial on Patreon, probably from October of last year. That was the Oogie Boogie Man, so I decided to watch that and do that again. Oh, and I started this on March 8th. So I did that March 8th, and I did this March 8th. And then this is just a more grown-up version of me in the Mindy Lacefield style. And then this was another Mindy Lacefield art tutorial. It wasn't from like an actual video. It was from her, one of her artworks. She had a little girl sitting on a mushroom, and it was raining, and so I decided to make me standing on the mushroom with it raining. And then I wanted to see how good this paper did with watercolor. So I got my White Nights that says Bielej Noci Akwarelnych Krasok Botanica, White Night Watercolor Botanicals, just to kind of see how it does, and it doesn't do very well at all. And then I thought, well, let me just get my other set out, my Urban Landscape. And then this is just like the basic little purple tin and the white tin, which I think the only thing that's different is there's a blue that's different. Yeah, that's a Gullible. And here they've got like ultramarine and azure. It's the only difference. And then these are my White Nights Pastels. I just thought if I'm going to use this in the next notebook, I want to see what they look like, because it's a bright white paper. They look pretty, but it doesn't do very well. And these are some more of my White Nights. A bunch of quinaquedones, geranium ruby, sap green, Prussian, Payne's Gray. I think this one's Lamp Black. Ultramarine Violet, Burnt Umbers. These are just some cute little critters. So all of this stuff has just been over a period of 2 days. This was another Mindy Lacefield tutorial. She was drawing a little girl walking up to a house. I decided to draw a little boy walking through a forest. This is a tutorial that Lindsay the Frugal Crafter did on YouTube. I didn't have the tools that she had. I just used what I had, which were some Derwent Inktense pencils, and I think that was all I used were the Inktense watercolor pencils. This is my Kuretake watercolor set. I found them when I was going through stuff and just decided to see if they do any better on the paper, and it's, you know, paper. This was from a Mindy Lacefield tutorial from a couple of years ago, probably from spring of last year, and I decided to do it again. And it's just a little seahorsey. Here's some more Mindy Lacefield washi tape, like her Halloween or Strawberry Shortcake or Watermelon Girl, and this is like rainbows and little people. Now Mindy created a stamp set, which I ordered and got, and I wanted to draw them myself first and put a little washi, and this is March 9th. So it's only been about like 3 or 4 days for all of this stuff. And then I did some little flowers with some colored pencils, me picking up those flowers. I was going through my Jane Davenport pencils, and I find it kind of funny that some of the colors were renamed different. Like here in the new, Pixie, old, like Pixie and Kiss Kiss were renamed differently. And then I think like they changed companies, so they're different. Just this you saw, so you could see when you're using like wet washes of watercolor, this paper is horrible. Like, and then like it started to like I had like dark colors up here, and it did that. I left this as a reminder. Now here are the Mindy Lacefield stamps that I stamped and played with and put more washi tape down because, you know. And I even put a little sticker here. This is a smelly one. It smells like cherry, strawberry maybe? Strawberries and cream, I think is what it is. Make sure I'm still back down in the center. Aren't those cute? And then she did a little tutorial on strawberries and a strawberry shortcake that she has on one of her little bags. And then I decided, well, let's see how, if we know this isn't good with watercolor, let's see how it does on alcohol markers. So I tested my Prismacolor 24 set of markers. And then I thought, well, let me get my Ohuhus out. So this is half of the Pastels. There's the other half of the Pastels. And then I got those gouache from Arteza. So you saw me swatch them. Here they are. I actually really like them. And this was the first test that I did with gouache. I did use colored pencil in the background, but that's, everything else is gouache. Make sure I'm back in the center. And then I did a little Trapper Keeper and a little spiral notebook. Mindy had done that, and she had like made cute little stickers out of her, so I just thought I'd try to draw them. And they're, you know, that little bear from earlier, that's way back here. I decided to make him larger and use some watercolor pencil and colored pencil. Just doing some faces. Just, you know, checking out male proportions. I did a narwhal. I was looking for something to draw and didn't have anything to draw, so I did a narwhal. Some mushrooms. This is watercolor pencils and colored pencils. More mushroom. This is with gouache again, with that Arteza gouache. More mushrooms. This is with my Inktense color pencil, watercolor pencils. That was just on the 31st. And then this is with Inktense watercolor pencils. This is with alcohol marker, just a little boy with flowers. I wanted to see, I was going through stuff and I found my Koh-i-Noor, the multicolored pencils, these big fat chunky ones. And these are the 5 that came in that set. You can see the variety of colors. I have no idea what I'm going to use those for or how I'm going to use those, but they're there. I got out some charcoal just to kind of see what this did on this paper, and I don't like charcoal. It's quite messy. Here's my Ohuhu skin tone set. It's a really nice set. Lots of deep colors, and then lots of paler colors that you can layer on top of these to create some beautiful skin tones. A little bunny I did in the style of Shada Campbell that I colored. Here is Lila and there's Seamus. I got a pencil set because I thought I want to get a good set of pencils. So I got the Faber-Castell Gold Farber set. And I'm going to do some playing, some experimenting this summer. I decided to go old school again and drew a wreath and colored it in. I was trying to find like my skin tone and also like for the color of my freckles that I have. So I did some play. And then these are the glitter watercolors, which you've seen a video of. I wanted to do just like a sky at sunset, just a basic sky. This is Lila. There's Lila as well. Greeting another cat, playing with a balloon. I used alcohol markers and you'll see why and how. And these were the colors that I went through to get the colors for here. And then I thought, I have those parkour. Let's see what those look like on here because I used a couple of them. See what they look like. And then I got some new washi tape from Coco Daisy. I ordered some washi because I wanted this cup, but it came with this other stuff. And so I drew a couple of cups and swatched them. Here's another one that I did of Little Miss Lila. You could either be one of Lila or two of her, or Lila and her brother looking at a little fish. And again, that was alcohol markers, as you can definitely see. And then I wanted to see what my Derwent Chroma Flow looked like on here, so I can use some of my other pencils. These are the Derwent Color Soft Skin Set. I have arriving today the, I think, 72 set of the Derwent Color Soft, and I'm super excited, super excited. It's my last art purchase for a long time. And then these are the Derwent Drawing Pencils, the 12 set. And then I also have the 24 set. So you can see what comes in the 12 and what's added for the 24. And then these are the Arteza pencils that I have in a little pouch that I carry around with me because I don't want to take my expensive pencils places. I like the Arteza. They do perfectly fine job. They're a really nice pencil. They're not as soft as a Prisma, but they're not as hard as a Faber-Castell. They're kind of like somewhere in between. Some colors are harder, some are softer, just because of the types of pigments that they use. But I kind of created my own set of This many. And I do have a white in there and a cream. And then I also do carry around like a burnisher as well. So there's that. And then I wanted to test my, what were those? Faber-Castell Pit Artist pens. I got that autumn set. And then I have a Zig calligraphy pen. And those are my Ohus. Oh-hoo-hoos. So, yeah. So this is how I use one of these sketchbooks. I'm not very precious with this type of a notebook. I'll do anything in it. I'll test things, and if they don't work out, like that watercolor, which you actually saw in one of your videos, I'll leave it in there to remind me, yeah, don't use wet on wet technique, because this is what this paper does. It feathers everything. And that's because it's a smooth paper and it's only 98 pound. So I'm not precious with these, and I think that's why I like them. Those like Strathmore sketchbooks that have or the Moleskine that have the hard black cover, those I'm a little more precious with, because they're expensive. Like you can get like 2 or 3 of these for like 25 bucks. I'm not precious with that. And I use these for just, you know, trying new things. And I use the other sketchbooks for after I've worked out ideas a couple of times in one of these, I'll try it in there. But yeah, that's why I love these type. So I have one more of these left. Here's one of the Arteza ones that's finished and you've seen. But I have one more of these left, and it doesn't have 60 sheets. It has 51 because I took pages out of it to make that December art journal for my art challenge. And I do have one thing in here. This. I think these are the Prima watercolor pencils. Yeah, these are the Prima watercolor pencils. There's like the basic set and the other set. And I wanted to see how they did on here. I did this a long time ago. But yeah, and they don't come numbered. I just numbered the corners. And like if something like this happens, we just go by and on to the next page. No muss, no fuss. So I'm gonna finish this one. And then after this, I have 2 of these. Oops, cat hair. 2 of these. I left, for some strange reason, the first couple of pages blank. Well, the first page. This is me looking at the gouache. That's the swatch of all the gouache. And then this was my final product. Something I did start to do is for my glitter watercolors, I put the labels down in the order they came, but the only problem is they were all labeled wrong. Like rose red was like a yellow, and one of them said green like here, and it was like a magenta-ish color, I think. And yeah, so I'm gonna have to work and find the real color for that. They were just either labeled wrong, but all the colors are there, which is what's kind of funny. There's 36 unique glitter colors. So I'm gonna then jump into this after I finish my new little sketchbook. And the main reason is, like, it handles gouache better, it handles watercolor better, it's just a better paper. It's the exact same paper that's in here, only has differences the size. This is 5.5 by 8.5. I kind of like that size better. This is just 9 by 12, but it's still 110 pound, 180 GSM mixed media paper. So there we are. I hope you enjoyed the little flip through my mixed media book. The month of May is a little bit busy, and what I was thinking of doing was adding a couple of extra covers in the passport size and in the standard size. And I was thinking of maybe getting rid of the VIP and having just the standard and the passport. Let me know. I'll see if I can create a poll. And you guys let me know what it is that you would like to see. Summer, I'm going to be having some, like, I don't know if my hip might get replay. I don't know. It all depends on what the doctor decides and some other things. So I'll be at home a lot during the summer. So I'll have time to play with my art supplies and journal. I want to start journaling again in my passport size. I want to start there because it's a nice size that isn't too intimidating for journaling. It's a small little page and you don't have to do much in order to get a great looking page. So there we are. I hope you had a wonderful Easter if you celebrate Easter. I hope you had a wonderful Passover, Pesach Sameach, for those of you that are Jewish, and for those of you that are Muslim, I hope you had a wonderful Ramadan, because like all three of them were lining up to be around the same time frame this year. I think that happens like what, every 33 years? I don't know, I can't remember. So there we are. If you have any questions, leave them in the little bloop-de-doop down below, and I will get back with you as soon as I can. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.